I'm good, hey, I'm straight on that bitch. I been getting so much money, too much cake on that bitch. Bitch wanna fuck on me too late.
With the logo, by the way.
I got too many hoes wanna eat.
Alright guys, we are back at it with the Mustang build. Got it right behind me. Working on the engine right now, but I had to send it out to the machine shop so we could get a hole tapped for the timing chain guide. But that's not gonna stop us. Today, we are working on this right here, gauges. So, what do we got? We got a wideband AFR gauge, and we have our glow shift boost gauge right here. We have a gauge pillar as well. That's how we're gonna install it. And let me show you guys what comes in the kit, in our wideband kit. We have the wideband gauge. We have our oxygen sensor. We have our harnesses and a extension of some sort. I have to look into that. But with all that, we have, let me open this up real quick. With that comes our E85 AFR gauge. This is 6 to 12 since we're running E85. And the back of our gauge here too. And comes with some hardware. Our O2 bong, which we're going to get welded on later. And another harness and our data logging controller. So I have all the instructions right here. We're probably gonna start with the boost gauge, to be honest, and then we'll move on to the AFR gauge afterwards because there's a little bit more to that. So let's get to it. All right, so inside of our boost gauge box, we have our boost gauge, which goes from 0 to positive 20 PSI of boost. Have some wiring that goes along with it. Bezel, shade bezel, I guess you'd call it. Instructions, some hardware, mounting hardware, and our vacuum line. Let me look at the instructions for this, and then we'll get to actually installing this one first. All right, so this is gonna be our ring end that we're gonna use for our negative. Went out and got some 18 gauge wire, so I'm just gonna cut off a section of this and insert it, and then use connections to connect to this for both gauges, and that should cover at least the grounds for the both. So I know I'm not explaining this eloquently, but you know, wiring isn't really my thing, so.
How's it going?
What's up? You scared the bejesus out of me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello.
No, you don't need this wiring.
Yeah, I don't need that.
What tie in a big knot?
Yeah, could you jumble it up for me?
Yeah.
That would actually make it a lot easier.
Sure thing.
This is our wideband gauge to glow shift controller harness. So pretty simple. We are just going to insert on this end the harness, feed through the pillar, line it up with our other gauge, slide through. That way we have our harness going through and our vacuum line, boost line, and our boost gauge wiring harness. So that way we'll be able to route all this down through the A-pillar and through the front dashboard. All right guys, so this is the mock-up. Routed everything down through here, the seam. Didn't have to pull out the dash so far, which is actually really awesome. But yeah, you kind of get the idea. Now that we know where everything's kind of gonna go, all we have to do is figure out where we're gonna drill our holes. And then it should be time to install. It's not the exact color. I should fix that. Will I? No. And I also threw the grommets down in here for this harness. Pulled all the vacuum line out. So let's get to marking and drilling. All right, so it is physically in now. Dude, to say I'm pretty happy with how it actually turned out. I have the gauges set up in the correct orientation. All the wiring coming out the bottom. But yeah, it was actually not bad at all. Super happy with how it went. Yeah, I mean, like on video, it probably looks pretty crappy just because it's two different colors. So next thing you'll see with this project
Is the wiring. We have these fuse taps here. I ordered some more. Until then, yeah, this is what we're dealing with. We'll get there eventually.
All right, I'm not gonna lie, got a little carried away, but we got all of our AFR glow shift controller harness wiring all routed up. I ran all the wiring harness to our controller here on the right. This is to our sensor, which goes over to the other side, down through a grommet in the firewall, down to the bottom, which will connect to our 2 sensor. We have what I believe here is our gauge harness and our power harness. So our gauge harness right now is ran up to our AFR gauge, which is our top gauge over there. That is connected. We have our power gauge ran across the center console, and this is for data logging. So, all right, see you guys on the next clip. Boom. All right, what's going on, guys? We're back at it, and today we're working on the Mustang, but right now we're gonna work on something a little different. And by different, I mean, what the f***? Is that European shit? This is Adam, and his M54 for his 335i. Adam, give us a little breakdown on what's going on.
So, old OEM rods and pistons are out, except for cylinder 1, but pretty much bought a bare block, got a closed deck, rods, pistons, pin crank hub, pretty much the full shebang. Stock head though, yeah, I'm just gonna build it, you know, try to make some decent power out of it. I'm shooting for mid-8s.
Mid-8s.
On kill. Yeah, I mean, it makes 700 right now, the car, so mid-8s would be lucky. So we got, shout out King Tech Racing, the China specials, but they're good, it's good quality. So we got forged H-beam 4340 rods. I'm not gonna take them out the bag, but they're pretty beefy. ARP 2000 hardware for the rod bolts. No one really cares about that though. They came for the good stuff. Yeah. Here's what we're really looking for. Billet pistons from King Tech Racing as well. Came with all the reins. This is what we're working with here. So shiny. With the logo, by the way. So yeah, I mean, it's a billet. You can see the CNC machining on the bottom. They differ a little bit from the stock ones. They have these little holes. This is for allegedly better cooling. I don't know how much of a difference I'm actually gonna see. But yeah, I mean, should be good. I got coated rod bearings, coated main bearings. Gotta keep the stock crank. It's a forged crank from the factory, unlike the 4.6. But yeah, I mean, King Tech Racing, I paid after shipping and taxes, there's a little over $1,100 for the combo, which is, I don't know if you know, for forged rods and pistons, is not bad at all. I know the CP Carrillo pistons go for $1,400, stock compression, everything. So very comparable to that. I know a guy who made $1,100 on this setup on these rods and pistons.
So where do they make $1,100?
Negative. I don't think the power level, at least for the rods and pistons, should be an issue. If anything, it'll be an issue of user error. I got ARP head studs, ARP 2000 head studs in a non-ARP box. So no lifting the head here. Fully redone head, fully refreshed. New springs, valves, rockers, valve stem seals, retainers, everything. Already decked.
Stock cam though, right?
Stock cam. I mean, these heads kind of feel like dog shit from the factory, but nothing a little more boost can't fix. But yeah, the stock cams, I mean, I haven't, for what I'm doing, it's not gonna make a huge difference.
What size turbo is it?
It'll be on a GT 3584, so it's like a 67 mil turbo. Right now, on the stock block I'm on, 27 pounds, 8 degrees peak timing, makes about 700 horsepower. I don't know how healthy the motor is right now, so goal is probably mid 30s, 800, 850. I'd be completely happy with that.
So we're gonna look to have these two cars. Now Adam's car currently runs, so if all goes well, this might be just a spare motor.
Once we get the engine apart and take it down to the short block, the only thing that I will have to wait for is the machining. So after that, it's just all on me. All I gotta order is like a head gasket and one-time use hardware and whatnot. So yeah, everything else is just really on me. So hopefully we can get it done quick, book correctly, measure clearances and everything. So
we will try and document most of this build, if not all of it.
717_E92. I'll be documenting all of it. There's not too many people documenting N54 builds, especially with the King Tech rod and piston combo. A lot of people use Manly or CP. So this is a proper budget build. Everything is going to be sub 4K. Budget 850 horsepower, 335i. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, sir. Alright guys, what's up? It's the next day, and look what we got in. Got a new battery, just a bunch of cord in for now. We're gonna put it in the trunk when we're actually ready to do things.
Because when moving storage units, I dropped this one and cracked it, which was really stupid on my part and a big mess up.
So, I had to get a new one. Also, copped some fuse taps. Got these from Amazon, but These will allow us to control our dimming, hot, and constant 12-volt sources to our gauges. We will need one for our fuel pump for the Hobbs switch, where it's when you turn the key on, you get one pump, and then after I think 4 or 5 pounds of boost, then you get the second pump on. And we might need it for 1 or 2 other things I can't really remember. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and finish up the gauges today, see if we get them working. I'm like super stoked with how it came out, so let's finish it up. Alright, so we have our 3 fuse taps set up. So this includes both the boost and the AFR gauge. Boost gauge is just coming straight down from our dashboard, but our AFR gauge, the gauge harness is sending over to our controller in the glove compartment, and then it's sending our power harness back, which is included in these fuse taps. So those are spliced in together, and we're gonna test it out first before we go ahead and wrap all this up. Let's find the fuses that we're gonna use and then plug it in, put the battery together, and hopefully they turn on, you know, so. Hey, so the gauges turn on, which is pretty awesome. Don't mind that blinking. That's blinking because there's no sensor plugged in. I don't have the dimming one plugged in because I'm gonna need a 5 amp fuse, which I don't have at the moment. Yeah, this is like very cool. I'm glad that both are on. We're gonna tuck the harness a little bit down here, clean it up, and then yeah, on to the next thing. But super happy with this. This is awesome.
What is up, guys? So today we have a few new things for the Tiggy that I've bought the past month or 2. I know this is going to be your guys' first time seeing it drive in what? I guess it's been like 4 months. Last time I drove this was November. Shipped the ECU out all the way to California to get it shipped by Hyundai. Got K-Pro V4. I did already put it in the car. That's how I got my car here. But let's go take a look at some of the stuff that I got. All right, first up, I picked this up probably about a month and a half ago. This is just a PRB intake manifold, Honda OEM from the RSX Type S. Many of you guys might know or might not know, I do have an A3 in this, and it's kind of our test dummy motor. We're gonna boost this car over the summer and see how it likes it. Hopefully during that time, I'm gonna get myself either K24 or K20. I don't really know which one yet. You guys have any suggestions, or if you wanna see me put one of those 2 motors in, go down and comment down below which one I should get. Move on to the back here, and we got 2 boxes. First one is it's gonna fall on me. No, it's not.
There it goes.
Okay, or it is. We're just gonna leave this down.
Of the RSX.
I still have to replace those. You guys know that. If you guys have seen my other videos, you know how bad it is. Anyways, though, we got ourselves a bull boost throttle body. Almost plug and play. Now that we have K-Pro, it'll definitely help a lot. And the last thing, you guys know I've been trying to convert my tan interior to a black one for quite a while. We got some black seat belts. This came out, I think, of a 2004 RSX. Probably got to clean this up a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer. But then we're gonna toss these in, and I'll show you guys really quick. My seat belts right now are terrible. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see how disgusting they look. And then when I let go of it, it doesn't really want to go back up. I'm hoping that getting fresh belts in here, or at least newer conditioned belts, will not only look nicer, but work nicer as well. All right, and then the last addition to the car, and probably the most expensive out of all of these parts, is the K-Pro. There's the ECU. Nothing too crazy about it. Yeah, we officially have gotten that back from California, and I'm just happy to drive this thing. That's enough talking for now. Let's go ahead and hop into this. Really quick thing we're gonna do while we're in the shop here. I'm gonna swap the license plate holder. Alrighty, new license plate holder. Let's go. Honda. All the Honda boys know. All right, we're gonna get these seat belts out. Looks like Christian already got the bottom piece out. We just gotta get the trim pieces in. Or sorry, we gotta get the trim pieces out, and then we'll put the new seat belts in, make sure everything works, button it up, and that'll be one job done. Alrighty, quick update here. We have got the seatbelt detached down here. Got this little panel out, which I was just thinking about it. You guys just saw me put those panels back in, or put new panels in, and now we're just taking them out. But I didn't have the seatbelts in back then, and good thing, they're only a few plastic tabs we had to pop out and put back in. We already got this the top seatbelt mount is now out. So the last thing we really have to do is we gotta get the little module out, and then we can go ahead and put the new seatbelts in. But yeah, we are almost done. Okay,
So you see this bolt right here? I bet you're wondering how much this bolt weighs. Christian.
Bro, can't. Butter hands.
Really light. Like super light.
Yeah, so this engine is only held together by these non-reusable, mind you, aluminum bolts. There are 24 of them holding on lower girdle. Oh, and also, you don't use RTV in this engine. You use a sealant that you pump in through a check valve on either side of the crank girdle.
Whack.
Whack.
Whack. Anyways, though, we got the seatbelts out. Look at these crusty little tan seatbelts. Got everything out. I'm gonna go ahead and plug the sensors in, and hopefully the new seatbelts retract, because right now they're like stretched out pretty good. But yeah, we're gonna toss those in, bolt them down, and hopefully everything is plug and play. Alrighty, we have got the driver's side seatbelt in now. I was having a little bit of a struggle getting this to extend out, and then I realized that I have to clip this in and then put the car into accessory mode. As soon as I did that, everything worked perfectly fine, and now it acts like a normal seatbelt. So we're gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side, and I will get back to you guys once we are done with that. We have got the seatbelts in. Let's take a quick look at them. Ooh, black seatbelts. And actually, they're not even like super dark. They're like kind of like a dark gray, but either way, I think it still looks a lot better than the tan ones, and the tan ones were super crusty. Got this side in too. That is pretty much a job well done. We've decided that we are not going to do... Yo, can the peanut gallery shut the fuck up for 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, bet. Yeah. Anyways, though, so we're going to save the intake manifold for another day. We're just kind of running out of time. We have some other things we got to get done, but catch you guys then. Alrighty guys, that is going to be the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button right down there, and drop a comment too. Why not? Let's start a conversation together. But yeah, little quick sneak peek at the next video that you guys will be seeing on the Mustang build. We have the motor. It is now complete, so be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. Guess with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.